Warne has been a controversial figure in his marriage to Sophie and during his time on 90 Day Fiancé. His ego is out of control. Warne is a highly controversial figure on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, and his ego has gotten out of control. Sophie, a 24-year-old from London, stars alongside Rob, a 33-year-old American model and actor, in the spin-off of the hit reality TV series after tying the knot in 90 Day Fiancé. Their relationship began on Instagram, and an 8-hour FaceTime call swiftly led to them living together in Los Angeles. However, Sophie's annoyance with their living arrangements, compounded by Rob's alleged cheating, strained their marriage. Are Sophie and Rob together after 90 Day Fiancé? Despite tying the knot after Sophie relocated on a K-1 visa in 2022, their marriage crumbled shortly after the events of 90 Day Fiancé Season 10. In 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 8, the couple has been navigating life apart while striving to salvage their marriage. Sophie's introduction of her childhood friend, Callum, adds a layer of drama, triggering Rob's jealousy. Revelations about Sophie and Callum's past romance have only intensified issues between Rob and Sophie. Despite difficulties, Rob needs to keep his ego in check. Rob has a criminal record that includes 2 incidents, but he doesn't seem ashamed, indicating his massive ego. The first occurred in 2007 when he was 17 years old, resulting in charges of aggravated battery and battery via in touch. This incident stemmed from an argument in Overland Park, Kansas. Rob agreed to a pretrial diversion agreement, leading to the reduction of charges to disorderly conduct before getting dismissed. 9 months later, in September 2007, Rob faced another arrest, this time for aggravated assault and obstruction. The charges involved the use of an air gun, air rifle, bow, and slingshot. Rob pleaded guilty and paid a fine for this offense. Rob has addressed his criminal past on social media, asserting his innocence in both incidents despite obvious evidence to the contrary. He claimed the first arrest was due to a misunderstanding involving a toy van with friends and expressed frustration with online conversations about his mugshot. Only someone with an inflated ego would try to assert innocence when guilty. One of the biggest problems in Rob and Sophie's relationship was his inability or lack of desire to get a real job. The former Los Angeles resident considers himself a jack of all trades and uses that phrasing to get away with working odd jobs, including modeling and posting photos on an adult entertainment website. Sophie, who was used to living an elevated lifestyle, was frustrated by this lack of initiative. According to In Touch, Rob defended himself on social media, stating he had worked as a store manager for 4 years before exploring other opportunities. The news outlet reported that Rob said in an Instagram story that being a store manager didn't work out, so I was working for a moving company, a grow facility, and hung signs around LA overnight while looking for another full-time job in the worst job market in the U.S. End of story. I had 3 jobs, not no job. Rob's defense of himself online is yet another sign his ego needs to be checked. There's nothing wrong with working odd jobs, as someone has to complete those tasks. However, Rob cannot own his employment and has to constantly shift the narrative. Rob faced significant scrutiny from his 90 Day Fiancé Season 10 co-stars in February after allegations of cheating on Sophie with other women online, usually the sign of someone with an ego that needs to be checked. During the tell-all, Rob defended himself against accusations of cheating, claiming he never intended to have physical or emotional relationships with other women. When questioned by co-stars Gino Palazzolo and Ashley Michelle, Rob admitted to receiving questionable videos but denied it was cheating. Despite his apparent remorse and apologies, Rob mostly evaded scrutiny and wasn't forced to face his actions. Though Rob may have learned from his mistakes, it seems unlikely and contributed to the trouble he and Sophie faced in their marriage. Cheating or having an affair takes a certain amount of self-importance and belief one won't get caught to occur, adding to the idea that Rob's ego is too massive to be contained. Rob's Instagram is filled with modeling shots and reels, but despite being such a controversial cast member, he doesn't have too many negative comments on his photos. In his most recent post, most users in the comment section remarked positively about Rob and supported his situation. Only one negative comment, reading, "It's crazy the difference between these," filtered AF comments and Reddit. "Between what I watch on TV and what I see on these posts, it's a crazy difference." Then we checked Reddit, and it made it even more clear that you delete comments you don't like, remains. While it can't be confirmed, Rob's patience to delete negative comments on Instagram posts would undoubtedly indicate an inflated ego. Sophie certainly hasn't been an angel during her time in the 90-Day Fiancé franchise, but Rob is arguably the more controversial figure. There's no way he wouldn't have any haters in the comments. Sophie introduced her British friend and ex, Callum, on 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 8, and it immediately caused trouble with Rob. Despite Rob and Sophie's attempts to reconcile after his alleged online cheating, Callum's presence created further mistrust between the two. Sophie and Callum's history is complicated, as they dated briefly in their teens and remain close friends. Rob felt needlessly betrayed when he learned about their past, leading to further conflict. However, Sophie insisted their relationship was insignificant. As Sophie and Rob's marriage unraveled, the possibility of Sophie dating Callum in the future could be back on the table. However, both maintain they are just friends. Rob's jealousy on 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, indicates his inflated ego and his cheating past. Just because he's a cheater doesn't mean Sophie also is.